Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Football Fallout. I'm Sean Ryan. I watch every single game of every single week, every single play, trying to delve into the deepest of the deep to find you the best fantasy football sleepers and waiver pickups to really charge your team for a championship run. So on this episode, I am going to be talking about the New York Giants versus the Buffalo Bills from this past Sunday. So let's just dive right in. I guess the big news is Eli Manning is benched. It's going to be Daniel Jones moving forward. That's probably... I'm always on the fence with these things. So if you have a young quarterback or a rookie, I think it makes sense to have them sit out and make a redshirt year. But if you're the New York Giants, you're 0-2 at this point, including a division loss. If you're trying to salvage your season and compete for this year, I guess it makes sense to make a move at this point. But in reality, I don't think that this is going to serve Daniel Jones's development at all. They probably should have waited, in my opinion, for another maybe 4 to 6 weeks before making this move. I think that in the history of the NFL, you can see that quarterbacks, especially younger quarterbacks that wait, that have organizations that are patient with them, tend to do better. And just we're talking percentages. That said, Daniel Jones certainly looked great in the preseason, so we'll see what happens. Can he get Sterling Shepard going? Can he get Evan Engram going? Can he get Saquon Barkley going? I don't know. That remains to be seen. I will say Fowler looked pretty good in this game. He looked like the best of the receivers. Evan Engram didn't do anything to jump out at me on film. I think he led the team in targets, but really I think it was 4 catches, 48 yards, somewhere around there. Saquon Barkley, 18 carries, 5.9 yards per carry. He's a guy you might want to give the ball to a little bit more if you can. This is a dynamic player. He probably is the best running back in the league. Not even pound for pound. I'm talking about just being able to close the door, make explosive plays. He's fantastic. Obviously, you're not going to be able to get your hands on him. I guess the hope, if you own Barkley, is that Daniel Jones can get the passing game going and to such a point where Barkley will have more or he'll face less defensive fronts of like 8-man fronts and that kind of stuff. The defenses are doing their best to limit him, but he's so explosive. He still gets great stats. I think things could improve moving on from there. Eli Manning, he's had a couple of Super Bowl rings. Nice little career for him. He ended the Patriots' undefeated season, beat the Patriots in both Super Bowls he played. Fantastic career. I don't think that he should probably be starting anywhere else at this point. It doesn't make a lot of sense for me to see him move on to another team. He's so inconsistent as a quarterback. He turns the ball over so much that it's almost like having a rookie quarterback anyway. I don't see any point in him moving on with a different offensive, learning a new offense and all that stuff. I think at this point, Eli Manning, I would root for him to stay on the Giants and just be a backup, for another few years. But, we'll see what he wants to do. But, in terms of fantasy football fallout, Golden Tate, I think he has 2 games left on his suspension. You probably want to put him on your watch list now. There's not a lot else on this Giants team at this point. Daniel Jones, maybe he's a great daily fantasy budget player for that first week. It's going to be tough sledding for this Giants team, I think, this season. They are turning the page. They're moving forward with the rebuild, and I'm excited to see Daniel Jones play. I know Giants fans are as well. Now let's move it over to the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen, he was a lot better than they were in week 1 against the Jets. We didn't see them turn the ball over 4 times in the first half. 21 points in the first half. They did quite well. Josh Allen was throwing the ball well, but he also missed some opportunities. John Brown, who was the most targeted receiver in this offense this week by far, he actually could have gotten behind the defense for a touchdown. Again, it didn't really shake out that way. Cole Beasley, a few catches, but he got more yards. I would like to see what's interesting is in the preseason they were throwing a lot more balls into the flats, and they were kind of working all 3 levels of the defense. Now it seems like they're trying to just run the ball as the short, kind of taking away the intermediate passes, the short passes, I should say, and they're really looking to work the intermediate and deep portions down the field. And that could be game planning. They could see something against the defenses they've been playing against, or maybe not. But I would like to see, especially Devin Singletary. I think he averaged 9.5 yards per carry in this game. Again, maybe he's somebody you want to give the ball to a little bit more. He did great last week, found the end zone this week, almost found the end zone multiple times. If you're in fantasy, if you can acquire Devin Singletary in a trade, do it. I think he's going to be a future star. Frank Gore is going to be the short yardage back, and I think for good reason. He's a little bit bigger, and obviously, I mean, he's been doing it for so long. He's been, getting those tough yardage situations. He's been able to get those 3rd and 1s converted for, it seems like 40 or 50 years at this point in his career. But Devin Singletary, he's going to be a star. I'd like to see him used a little bit more in the passing game. He's explosive. He's like, I would say, poor man's Saquon Barkley, even. I mean, every time he touches the ball, it's like he gets another 10 yards. It's pretty incredible. And if you pair him up, Singletary and Gore, this rushing attack, with this incredible defense that Buffalo has built over the last few years with Coach McDermott there. And then Josh Allen, as he continues to improve, he could be more accurate, but he is a lot better than he was last season. This is a feisty Bills team, and now that we're seeing, the Browns aren't maybe as great as we once thought, depending on your opinion of their drubbing of the New York Jets on Monday Night Football against their 3rd-string quarterback. But we saw in Tennessee, this is going to be a tough conference. I mean, Buffalo in this division, if they can sweep the Jets, if they can sweep Miami, that's 4 wins right there. You need maybe 5 or 6 other wins to get into the playoff chase there. It's going to be an interesting one, especially with Ben Roethlisberger being injured. We'll see what happens, but I like what Buffalo's building. I gotta say, I'm a believer in this team. Defense, running the ball, and an ascending quarterback. It goes a long way. Fantasy football fallout, like I said before, Frank Gore, he's somebody that you do want to pick up if he's on the bench in your league because he will get touchdowns. If you're in a touchdown-only format, I would say, I'm a big buyer on Frank Gore if he's not already on the team. Devin Singletary, trade for him. John Brown, I think he's definitely worth a look because Allen likes throwing to him deep, man. And I like there's a new guy, Isaiah McKenzie. I don't know if he was a rookie or a second-year player or whatever, but he actually started flashing on film too. I'm going to be kind of tracking his progress specifically on this Bills team. I liked what I saw from him. He wasn't super integrated, but when he was on the field, he made some plays, and I liked what I saw. So there you go. There's another episode of the Fantasy Football Fallout. If you could do us a big favor, please subscribe. That's how we grow our channel. We could use your support. Also, watch as many videos as you can. Hopefully you like these. There will be a playlist of the Fantasy Football Fallout in the upper right-hand side of the screen. You can also hit the subscribe button, the red button on the lower right-hand side, or the logo in the upper left-hand side. And again, we could use your support. For now, just check out another video. Thanks for watching this one.